You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Welcome to episode 105 of the Battered Heat Fans Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Guarana, and thank you for joining us. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. We've been hitting these Heat shows early and often. Solana, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, we're doing great because, like you said, we're hitting them usually daily at this point. We got a lot of news coming out. We're still waiting on Braun, and yeah, man, we're gonna continue doing this as the information continues to drop, as the Heat continue to play in summer league, and dude, I'm just excited to talk about the Heat, man. I can't wait for the season to start. I can't wait to go see Giannis, and hopefully we got LeBron too, man. We'll see.
Um, this week it seems like it might be the week of the decision. Um, it's a weird week because the World Cup semifinals start today, and I think that takes up a lot of attention. I don't know if LeBron is really seeking to have like his own day. Now, I know Giannis gets introduced on Thursday, and on Friday, you know how they're doing that Fanatics Fan Fest where all these athletes are getting together at some weird thing over there in New York. Well, LeBron is going to have a live podcast of his show, The Shop or whatever, and it's going to be a live podcast stream, and it's going to be on Friday, I believe, at noon. I would assume that by then he's already chosen, and the topic of conversation, which everybody's going to want to be listening for, is why he chose where he's going. Or maybe he'll even make the announcement there. So I think that Friday noon we'll know already, or we'll be finding out. And that's his way of getting as many listeners to that stream as possible, right? Because I mean, I'll be tuning in. Like that's like decision point 2.0. So I think Friday is going to be that deadline. I don't think we have to wait till Saturday. I think by Friday we shall know. I thought by Thursday, but once I found out that podcast is happening live, I think by then we'll know.
Yeah, I mean it's probably a good reach, right? It's a good reach to think that way. Honestly, I'm of the point that I think he should attend one of the two World Cup games, and they should have a mini decision at halftime. Put him
Do
on
it
the
at the
field,
World
and
Cup final.
yeah, I know I don't want to wait till Sunday, man. I don't want to wait till Sunday, but it'd be great. I mean, in the middle of the England Argentina game tomorrow, he owns a piece of a club
Liverpool.
of Liverpool. Yeah, he owns a piece of Liverpool, so he has some skin in the game. Um, I don't know, man. It sounds like it'd be the best thing to do it like that. But look, I agree, man. I think we just need to find out whether it's today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It doesn't matter. I think for the Heat, it's important to figure out if LeBron James is going to come so that we can continue to move the rest of the dominoes in the offseason. Because I know that that everybody wants LeBron now. It's the talk of the town. Obviously, I want him. You want him. But again, the Heat have to be careful, right? Because we've seen this movie before. Miami has waited for the whale. They waited for the superstar. They keep everything flexible. And then by the time that the superstar makes a decision, the rest of the market is gone. So, when we're talking about LeBron, I get it. You get it. It's LeBron. If LeBron says he wants
I've dusted off all my jerseys. I've been dusting them all off. I'm ready to go.
exactly, and everybody's ready to go, and it's a legit possibility. But I mean, the question, and we kind of frame it in the title here, is waiting for LeBron the right decision, knowing who else might be, is out there, and if we strike out on LeBron, are we still gonna have some assets out there to pick up?
Well, so reports are that he kind of already have a plan B. If LeBron doesn't come, it's gonna be, or it sounds like they want it to be, right? There's no guarantee because DeMar DeRozan has to decide, right? But DeMar DeRozan is plan B with Klay Thompson. Like I think that's the hope. We don't land LeBron, we bring in DeMar DeRozan and Klay Thompson. I think that's formidable. My understanding is that Klay Thompson could also come with LeBron. So I think Klay Thompson is a big want for the Miami Heat as it is. But if I were to present to you two options, you get LeBron James or you get Klay Thompson and DeMar DeRozan, do you think one is better than the other?
I mean, preferably, I'd want LeBron James, right? But I'm going to tell you why DeMar DeRozan and Klay Thompson is still extremely interesting to me because DeMar, he's not perfect, right? He doesn't fix the issue with the spacing that the Heat are going to have. He's not a high volume 3-point shooter, but what he does give you is he's a guy who can get a bucket in the half court. I mean, that guy from the mid range, his midi, like you like to say, is unbelievable. Look, I would love for him to come. He averaged 18.4 points, 2.9 rebounds, and 4.1 assists. He's definitely somebody that can get you some scoring that you need, somebody you can go to in the clutch in the fourth quarter when you need a bucket. And then Klay's a different conversation, right? He's not the same Klay that he was in his prime, and we shouldn't pretend that he is. We saw what he did last year in Dallas. But he shot 38.3%, and it was technically a down year for him. At 38.3, I mean, dude, he'd be one of the top 3-point shooters on the Heat. So, look, I love both options, but what I don't want is for the Heat to miss out on LeBron because they waited, and then they miss out on this combination as well. So either or, I think I'd be happy. Obviously, the bigger fan of me wants LeBron because I think he would make a bigger impact on this team. But I think if we strike out on plan A and plan B is DeMar and Klay, I think it still brings in two extremely good assets that we could use for this season.
Now, this is the current roster we have. This is the projected starting lineup as of right now, right? We don't have anybody else, right? We got Davion Mitchell running the point. We got Hardaway Jr. and Wiggins at the wings, and then we got Bam and Adebayo, right? That's our starting five at the moment. I think that's formidable. I don't think that's bad. Now, if LeBron were to come, Davion Mitchell, I think, is the one that goes to the bench. No?
I don't know, man.
Really?
I don't know. I think it could be Tim Hardaway Jr., and I think you could have Andrew start at the 2, LeBron at the 3, Giannis at the 4, and Bam at the 5. Now, here's something interesting. I have, obviously at work, we talk about this stuff all the time, and
right.
Everybody, one of my coworkers yesterday mentioned that apparently if LeBron comes in again, he just mentioned it. I'm throwing it out there as topic of conversation. Right. But if LeBron comes, we'd have to get rid of Wiggins, and I don't think that's true.
No, because LeBron said that he'll come and play for pennies.
Correct. Now, the other thing he said is he'd want Russell Westbrook. And that, I don't know if I don't know if I could hop on board.
Oh, man, I can't stand Russell Westbrook. Not that I can't stand him. I know he was great, triple doubles all the time, blah, blah, blah. That was when he was athletic. Dude can't shoot. Like, I do not want any parts of Russell Westbrook. I really don't. And if LeBron were to come, Russell Westbrook isn't coming because LeBron threw him kind of under the bus when they were on the Lakers together. Said that guy's not the type of guy that could win. So, I don't see that happening. Yeah, if he does, yes, Westbrook is coming if LeBron doesn't come. I don't want that, but then I can see it. But if LeBron comes, there's no way Westbrook comes. Now, I think that LeBron would be the point guard or the guy that's on ball most often. That's why I thought Davion Mitchell might not start, right? So I did it based off of that, the graphic, right? So this is what I got. This is what I think would be a potential lineup if LeBron were to come. Now, if LeBron were to come, and that's the only move we make moving forward until, I don't know, training camp, if maybe somebody else gets released or something, that's our starting lineup. And this is what our bench would – oh, wait. Sorry, my fault. This is what our bench would look like. You got Bobby Portis, can shoot. Our second unit isn't looking necessarily that strong unless Pell and Nikola can make that jump that we were talking about yesterday. Because this is what our bench is looking like if LeBron comes and we make no other moves. Now, you could put a Ryan Conwell there instead of Simone Fontecchio. I don't know if I'm forgetting somebody. I know I did this a couple minutes before we started on here. I don't know if I'm forgetting anybody, but this is what our second unit, and obviously you'll have starters sprinkled in there, right? You're never going to have these 5 guys playing all at the same time, but this is more or less what our backups look like. Your thoughts on the backups if LeBron were to come and no other moves are made?
Well, according to what our boy Miami Sports, I mean, Klay's coming no matter what, so you're missing Klay on there. And
all right, boom. There you go. And if Klay comes, then it looks a little nicer.
It does, because it gives you a little bit more shooting on that second unit. Obviously, you have the slasher, the cutter, and Pell Larson. Then you have the guy who could spread the floor in Klay. Hopefully, like we had that show, and if you guys haven't checked it out, yeah, if you haven't checked out yesterday's show, we kind of did a little bit of a deep dive on Nikola Jovic and on Pelle Larsson and their offseason with the Swedish and the Serbian national teams. Go check it out. But look, if we can get the Eurobasket version of Pelle and of Nikola, I mean,
With Bobby Portis, Klay, and Klay Thompson, forget about it.
I know that's better than some of the teams that are tanking.
Yeah, 100%. Even though tanking isn't a thing apparently anymore, but we'll see. Look, if LeBron were to come, and we have the starting 5 here, which I think is the best 5 in the Eastern Conference, hands down. And then this is your second unit. I don't know. Everybody that's criticizing the Heat not having enough, all of a sudden, I think, and again, a lot of this hinges on Pelle and Nikola really taking a step. Because if Jovic is unplayable and Pelle takes a step back for whatever reason in the second season, then maybe we're in trouble. But if they can keep ascending and Nikola can finally figure things out, Bobby Portis keeps shooting the way he's been shooting, Klay Thompson can get his stroke back, even though last year, I think he played decent last year. But
Hey,
I know
38%.
Was it 38%? I mean, it's not Splash Brothers Klay, but it's still pretty good.
It's a
And
lot
then you got
better than
Davion
what we
Mitchell.
had on the roster.
And remember, Davion, yeah. And then Davion was leading the league in assist to turnover ratio for a large part of the season. Like, he was leading the league in that for a large part of the season. Like, I think we're looking pretty good. Now, the show is LeBron versus option B. Now, the reason I didn't put Klay is because I was doing LeBron versus DeMar, DeRozan, and Klay. So, if hypothetically, this is where we're at, and then we get a DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan isn't going to send Davion Mitchell to the bench. I think Tim Hardaway Jr. is the one that goes to the bench if DeMar DeRozan is the starter. So let's assume that he's the starter. So this is what our starting lineup looks like. Not as sexy, but this definitely still looks good. I'd rather see LeBron James there, right? Obviously. But still looks good. But if we have Davion Mitchell here, DeMar DeRozan here, and then we get Klay Thompson, this is what our second unit looks like. Oh, wait, look at that. And I forgot to add in Tim Hardaway Jr. there. Now, the problem with the second unit is that we don't have a ball handler. So all of a sudden, we're relying on Drew Smith again.
Yeah, but you have 4 months to find another ball handler, Danny. So I don't think that's an issue. I think once the Heat can decide,
Hardaway Jr. How did I do that?
Not they decide, but once it's decided if LeBron is coming back, I think people will start to flock here. Same thing if he decides not to come back and they end up getting DeMar and Klay. I think people will start to flock here and we'll be able to round out the bench with some good NBA talent. Now, I did want to bring one thing up about LeBron. I don't know if you know this, but today is Shabazz Napier's birthday. Now, it would be
I saw that.
hilarious if he announced, where he was going today, and he announced the Heat.
Can they go full circle with the Shabazz Napier draft pick?
I mean, if you really think about it, right? If he does it, I mean, that would be some really long-term storytelling right there.
WWE style?
WWE, exactly. And they can learn a little something about what LeBron does because LeBron is a hell of a storyteller.
I think the Shabazz Napier thing is overdone. If Pat Riley wouldn't let him eat cookies, you think he's letting him pick the draft picks? Come on now.
I don't think he's letting him. I think that he picked it because he was his guy and he thought that if he picked him, that he would stay. But yeah, I mean, look, Westbrook, a good backup. I don't know, man.
I don't like Westbrook, man. I don't want Westbrook.
I've never liked Westbrook. I've never liked him. And I don't know if he can still play more than 10, 15 minutes a game. So is that a guy who you want on the roster? Somebody who historically hasn't been a team first guy. It's not somebody I want on the roster.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fan of the Westbrook idea. I do think that option A and option B are both good options. When you look at it, this starting 5 versus this starting 5, both good starting 5s. And then when you look, if Klay is coming no matter what, you get this second unit with LeBron starting, or you get this one, which I forgot to add in Tim Hardaway. So you can put Tim Hardaway there instead of Drew Smith if you want, while we figure out who the ball handler is going to be. If we're going to bring somebody else, you get Tim Hardaway Jr. there instead. Like, this is like in the East. Like, I know the East has improved a bit, but I'm sorry. Like, Philadelphia is probably the most talented Eastern Conference team right now when you look at the starting five. But after Philly, Celtics are falling apart. The Knicks, again, they're obviously the champions, but I think that they took advantage of a weak road to the finals. Good for them, but it's not a team that I think scares anybody. And then you got Cleveland, which is okay, but you have James Harden, and once he gets to the conference finals, he's gonna implode. Like the Heat can match up with absolutely anybody. And then Last Sticks is saying he's the best available pickup right now. Right now, absolutely.
Here's who's available, Danny.
I'd take Spencer Dinwiddie, by the way, Lastex. I would take Spencer Dinwiddie.
Of guys that played in the league last season, you've got James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Gabe Vincent, Cole Anthony, Killian Hayes, and Aaron Holiday. Those are the top unrestricted point guards in the market today. Not a lot of great guys, but to be honest with you, from that list, I think I'm taking Gabe Vincent.
Dude, give Spencer Dinwiddie a call. He wants to get back in the league. Would you ever entertain? I don't know if we've talked about it on the show, so I'm gonna. Maybe we have. I don't remember. Would you ever entertain having Ben Simmons as your backup point guard?
No chance. No, don't even bring up that name in my presence. Absolutely not.
Defensively, that team would be stout, though.
Nah, still, yeah, but that guy's a clown, bro. That guy's a clown. I'm curious as to why last texted media.
Because Gabe played so poorly once he left here.
I understand, but it's I don't know, man. It's a interesting situation because players always seem to play better in the Heat style of play in what we run here, and so he showed that he could do great. Yeah, he dropped off after that, but maybe they didn't use him the right way. Maybe he wasn't motivated the right way. Maybe he wasn't training the way that a Miami Heat basketball should train, and maybe it'll end up better when he comes here. Now, I agree with what Miami Sports says. I would love Jonas Valanciunas to be the backup center here. I mean, I think he gives you size. I think he gives you rebounding.
Didn't he already sign with the team?
No. He got released by Denver.
Well, look, the whole point of the show was to compare option A and option B. And honestly, both options look good to me. Now, LeBron is option A, right? We go in order. Option A to me, and I think to everybody, is LeBron James. But if you don't get LeBron James, but you end up with DeMar DeRozan and Klay Thompson, this team is still looking sexy. Like, we've become so focused in on LeBron James over the last 2 weeks that we've kind of forgotten that we just got done signing a top 3 player in the league in Giannis. Like, it's become an afterthought to us because we've been so focused on LeBron James. Like, maybe we'll start talking about Giannis again once this LeBron decision is done. But, like, who's talking about Giannis and the impact he's going to have on this brand new team next to Bam? And you give him a couple shooters. Like, we've stopped talking about Giannis because LeBron James has become the focus. And, we just signed a top 5, maybe top 3 player in the league. I mean, the Heat are going to be okay no matter what happens from now to Friday.
Yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. But I agree, Danny. I mean, look, they signed Giannis. That was the primary objective of this offseason. That's exactly what, the Heat waited for the last couple of years, dealing with what we dealt with, going into the play-in. And always the primary goal of this offseason was to lure Giannis Antetokounmpo. They did that. But like you said, since LeBron is the
current big whale,
right, or the more well-known name, and he's been here before, the talk of Giannis has gone down, and we really haven't heard much, right? I think after Thursday when they present him, the talk will start ramping up again, and folks will start getting excited. But like you said, if LeBron makes a decision on Thursday or Friday, does that take a little bit of the presentation of Giannis to Miami? Does that take over a little bit of that thing, or I don't know?
Yeah, I think so.
And how do you think? I mean, you think Giannis is cool with that? I think so. I mean, he's
dying to get LeBron. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
And my understanding is that Giannis is going to come. He's going to do the presentation on Thursday. He might get a practice in or two, and then he's going to go back to Greece. So he won't even be here very long.
Yeah, well, Davion's in Greece too, so he's
Is he?
Yeah, he's training with him in Greece.
Oh, Davion's a smart man.
Well, Davion, so my brother,
Davion's going to get a new number.
He is. But my brother Alejandro interviewed him in the offseason, and he, one of the things that I was surprised that Davion said was that he loves to go to Europe, loves to travel, but he will not go somewhere unless there is a gym he can play in. So he says he goes to Europe every summer. He trains every summer while he's in Europe. I know he reached out to Giannis, and Giannis is like, hey, you want to come to Greece? And he's like, yeah, I'll be right there. So he hopped on a plane and went.
Yeah, it must be nice to be young and no kids, no nothing. Just kind of hey, I'm going to go.
I mean, even if he had kids, he could probably afford a babysitter for a week or so.
You're right. All right. So option A, option B, I think we're cooking regardless. We're going to be contenders, and it's looking good, man. I do hope for LeBron, but I think no matter what happens, we're going to be good. Any final words?
I'm good with option A. I'm good with option B, but let's not get to option C. We haven't even talked about it yet. So, and I don't want to get into it. So let's make sure that we can, finalize either option A, which would be LeBron, or option B, which would be a combination of DeMar and Klay. I think, like you said, if the Heat can do that, they will be sitting very, very nice in the Eastern Conference, and then we'll have to see who else they can bring in. But dude, this is exciting days, man. 2 days, Giannis is presented, and then LeBron could be, announced any day now.
And like you said, option C, if we don't get LeBron or DeRozan or Klay,
we could do a whole show on what option C would be, and I still don't know.
Zach LaVine, maybe trying to figure out how to get him out of his contract. I don't know, something. All right. If you're listening on audio, we appreciate you listening to the end. Please leave us 5 stars and a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll be back maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, because I feel like every day we just have something new to talk about. So appreciate everybody has been checking us out. Make sure, like I said, if you subscribe if you haven't already, like if you're watching live, it helps us a ton. And again, option A or option B, we're going to be contenders no matter what. So it's looking good anyway. So until the next one, have a good one.
Happy birthday.